What's up, YouTube? So I've been seeing some videos on my YouTube come across, especially about LS stud removal and Ford F-150 stud removal. Then I had this guy come across and was doing work on the bench. Work on the bench, removing broken and rusted out and reset studs, is so much easier than doing them in the car. So we're working on a 543 valve, and I have one broke on this side that's inside the cylinder head, and I'm going to show you the best practices. If you can get all the nuts off and reuse the OEM studs, that's what I'm going to tell you to do. If the studs aren't crispy crittered all the way down, then leave them alone because they're perfectly fine. But this one you can see was recessed in the head, and what I do is just like a dentist. Use your carbide, and then you're going to go and ream around the stud, breaking the corrosion and all that shit in your way to gain access. Once you can do that, then you can take your welder and start welding to the stud that's inside the hole and bring it out. There's plenty of stuff that you can use to keep it from sticking to the aluminum. I will tell you this, be careful, take your time. I don't usually worry about that. If it sticks to the aluminum to where I can't turn the stud, I just take the carbide and grind it away. So now let's go to the other side. That's the easiest way to do the ones that are broken inside the cylinder head. When they're external like this, and you can see, and I'm gonna get my light in here, that the corrosion is built up all the way around where the threads go into the cylinder head. Take your carbide and back grind that down inside the cylinder head just a little bit. So save the stud, couldn't save the stud, save the stud, save the stud. I think the rest of them were all salvageable. And like I said, if they're not crusty to where the stud is less than 8 millimeters, and I've actually used them where they were a little less than 8 millimeters, this stud here, if the K has reduced the stud diameter less than 8 millimeters, if it's a French fry, change it. If it's not a French fry, and chances are if it was a French fry, and that's my terminology, it would have busted right off. So if it didn't bust off then, you're not gonna break it putting it back together. Unless you're gonna gorilla it, then shame on you. But you wanna use finesse and methods here. So this one, I'm gonna weld a couple nut to it after I back grind the carbide. That should pull right out. The recessed one, you're just gonna keep welding, 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 and bring that stud external of the cylinder head, and then try and keep it hot, and then weld a screw or a nut or an old stud. Hence that old stud down there. I may reuse it, I may not. Depends on how I'm feeling about what I'm getting into here. But that's the best way to deal with broken inside the cylinder head. And especially if it's been broken for a long time, you'll see the crusties and corrosion is built up and pinning it inside the cylinder head. Just grind that shit out. Thanks for watching.